I'm late, Moses. Trying to get my shit together over here. Had to put my Knicks shirt on, bro. Moses like, I don't give a fuck. Yo, Mo, you such now. You take that Brooklyn preacher back down behind you, bro, because you ain't about that New York life, bro.
Yo, bro, that's Brooklyn. That's not New York. What that got to do with
Same shit,
anything?
bro. Take that shit
No,
down, bro.
no, it's not.
Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. We don't believe in you, Mo. Get out of here.
All right,
Guys,
come on, let's
realize.
start because we recording.
Yeah, I know. Give me a second, man. Trying to get my shit together. I didn't shave. I didn't do nothing.
I ain't doing anything either.
I'm sweating because I just ran from outside in the house. Woo! Trying to. Yeah, I got my championship shirt on. You know what I'm saying? New York Knicks championship shirt. You know what I mean?
The moment is over, bro.
That's your problem, son. This is all year, nigga. Fuck you talking about. Are you down? All year.
Okay.
This is how we starting off the show with this type of energy, man. Damn, oh, you a different type of nigga. I thought you was like, you know what I mean? I knew you wouldn't come to none of the Knicks events, but I didn't think you was this type of guy. I'm
Nigga,
sorry.
can we start recording, man?
We are recording. You can start. We talking about the Knicks. That's how we start the show.
So gone.
Like, is there a problem, my brother?
Yo, yo, yo.
What's popping? Brooklyn Boys Radio, man. This guy's crazy, bro.
We back with another episode of Brooklyn Boys Radio
We
Zoom edition.
Yeah, we took the week off because the Knicks had to play, and and shit had to go down a certain way, so we had to take the week off. So
Well, that's why you took the week off. I ain't take the week off for no goddamn Knicks.
we had to take the week off, man. We had to take the week off. So New York Knicks, we are champions in New York, so I'm happy about that. I got my championship hat on. You know what I'm saying? I got my championship shirt on. Shout out to New York. You know what I mean?
New York, New York, what a wonderful town. The Bronx is
Mo,
up and the battery's down. The people ride in a hole in the ground.
the fuck is this nigga talking about? I'm so confused
You
right
don't
now.
remember
Hold
that
on.
song?
Nah, I don't remember that one, my nigga. Yo, I was just running like a chicken with my head cut off. I am so, and I can't turn on the AC because y'all hear that shit going crazy here. All I want to do is turn on the AC right now. I need that shit for like 5 minutes.
It's
That'll be
not even
fine.
hot
Cause
outside, man.
now I literally, my nigga, I literally just came in from the gym. I went to the gym and I ran straight here to, you know what I mean, to get this shit done. So I had the groceries in the car from earlier. I had to run all that shit up the stairs, back down the stairs. That's, that's how we got here, bro.
Okay.
That's how we got here.
Let's
And
get the
I
show
had
started, man.
we all thought this got crazy today.
No, I'm talking about let's get to the topics.
Oh, we gotta jump right in this shit, man. I like when I'm, you know what I'm saying. I don't like to. I'm one of them niggas like to finesse things, be like, you know what I mean. I like foreplay first before I just jump right in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, what's up, Mo? Tell me about your weekend, dude. Yo, come on, you acting crazy, bro. Hello?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna tell me about your weekend? Nothing happened. How's your Father's Day? Happy
My
Father's Day
weekend was my
to all the
weekend.
fathers.
Father's Day was cool, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to all the daddies out there and shit like that. Cause
Yeah, happy Father's
Father's
Day to
Day
all the
was
pops, man.
yeah, Father's Day was definitely yesterday, and Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't get celebrated, man. Did you get celebrated? I saw you got celebrated a little bit one
Got
time.
celebrated. I got celebrated slightly, yeah.
Yeah, so I seen you
I'm
doing your
grateful.
thing, going to. Yeah, I'm grateful too. I got my godson, my daughter mom, lady friend. They all hit me up, man, and showed me some love. So I felt good, and I ain't getting no cheap shit. So that was a good thing, because dad sometimes we get all the cheap shit. You know what I'm saying? We get all the shit that nobody else wants. You know what I'm saying? So
Pretty much.
yeah, I didn't
Ties
get
and
no cheap shit
ties and t-shirts.
and socks and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely Thank everybody that saw fit to send me some nice shit for Father's Day. And not only that, all the text messages. That's the thing I hate about Father's Day and Mother's Day and Christmas and all that
Having to
shit. You gotta send
respond to
100 to
84,000 text
80.
messages.
Oh my God. Yo, son.
No, it's
So
actually Father's Day and New Year's.
let me tell you this shit. So we both know, and we kind of similar in this regard. I don't really like to go out like that. I'm not a real go out guy. Mo will tell you 90% of the time, I'm gonna tell you motherfucking no. I ain't coming outside. You know what I'm saying? So this
Yeah, but I
weekend,
saw you was out. What was it, last
all
night?
weekend. All weekend, all fucking weekend I was out, bro. Shout out to Punch, my man Punch. Punch had a nice pool party at this crib. I went out to go, went to Punch pool party, and that shit was really nice and had a good time. The ladies were very friendly, I must say, and we had a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, the wrong day to have a pool party. We went on Juneteenth, and it just so happened that they were playing. The World Cup was in town. I didn't know that. So where Punch live at, it's a nice little ride, but it made the ride double time. It took me about 3 hours for an hour and a half ride. It took me about 3 hours to get there, which was ridiculous. Got back quicker though, so that was cool. But yeah, we had a good time though. We had a good time, and then I went out. Shout out to my man Jay Mass. He just bought his first crib, and we went to go celebrate Mass. You know Mass, and we went out there and celebrate his crib. And one thing I want to tell you about that, man, I love celebrating my friends that, doing bigger and better things. And, I went to his house and saw he had a bunch of family there. It was like a housewarming, you know what I'm saying? He got a nice big backyard and shit. And it was like six little girls and a boy, and they was all running through the grass. It's like this hill, and they was running. The adult guys were sitting over one side by the food talking and shit. You saw the parents, the older folks on another side. Shout out to Cocky. He was there. His grandmother was there. He was leaning on his grandmother's shoulder when I looked at him, right? And that was cool, like this moment. And when I saw the little girls and the little boy run past and they all laughing like big, you know how kids laugh, right? And you just hear the laughter. And in my mind, I just said, yo, this is what you do it for, Mo. We could chase all the money, we could chase all the fame we want, chase all the women we want, all the opportunities. But at the end of the day, to have family that you can kind of celebrate this shit with, kind of have the kids that you leave the legacy to, have them in the background laughing and playing. I don't think nothing beat that for me. That shit just was imprinted in my brain. So shout out to J Mass, man, and shout out just for reminding me what we really do it for, man. I know we want the accolades and all that shit, but at the end of the day, if we can't take care of our families and provide a space where our next generation could be great, then why are we doing it? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. So that was dope, man. Yeah, we could just jump into the shit, man. We ain't been here for a week, so I apologize once again for that. But let's get, all the family stuff out the way. Let's get into the bullshit, Mo. I got a question for you, Mo. Is there a problem when a lady comes to your crib, right? And she don't necessarily, she about to give it up, like you about to get some buns, and she necessarily didn't come from my house. She came from wherever she came from, per se. If she don't ask you to go to the bathroom, do you find that to be a problem? Because to me, I find that to be a problem. So I'm asking, do you find that to be a problem?
Now, when you say she coming from where she coming from, I mean, what does that mean? I mean, everybody's coming from somewhere.
She's not
Is
coming
she coming from
directly
my
from a crib.
house?
She might be coming from no, she's not coming from my house. She might be just coming from work. She might be coming from store, or y'all might have just been together and y'all went on a date or something like that. She might just be coming through from wherever y'all came from.
I
Like,
mean, to me, it all depends. It all depends. Like, I mean, if the person smells sweaty or they smell like all day long, then that's a different story. But if person is well put together, they smell right, like, you know, I don't think about that. Like, because at the end of the day, like, it's the same way. If I'm running around and I head to a shorty crib, like, not, most times I'm not jumping in her shower. Like,
so see, that's I guess where we differ at, man. Like for me, if a lady walks in and I feel like She been out and she gonna go, yo, can I use the bathroom for a second? To go do that coochie
Oh, you
test or
talking
something
about?
like
You
that.
talk? No, no, no. See, what you're talking about is something different. You said as far as her taking a shower, you talking about her
No,
freshening up. You talking about
freshen
her
it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
freshening up and taking a
Yeah,
shower, two totally different things. I mean,
yeah, that's
a
what I'm
lot
talking
of
about.
times, a lot of times, a female will come to your house, and when they realize something's about to go down, they'll tell you to get them a second to go in the bathroom just to check
Bathroom,
themselves. You
yeah,
know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I'm talking about. Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
that's a
definitely.
yeah, yeah. I thought you meant like actually taking a shower. Like that's two totally different things.
No, no, no. I meant like just going to action to go to the bathroom and take care of
Freshening
shit.
up.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Because I noticed that this new generation of women, and that when I say new generation, I just don't mean young women. I just mean this social media era of women. They just operate a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Whether you in your 40s or you in your 20s, like they operate a little bit differently. And some of these niggas just come through and they go, you know what I mean? Nobody be like, yo, can I go to the bathroom for a second? I kind of question if I'm even gonna do it still if she gonna ask me to like, you know what I mean? Even if she don't gotta go to the bathroom, she should be going to the bathroom, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with that. You know what I mean? For me. You know what I mean? And I tell you this, even when I was growing up, I'm not outside like that no more, but even when I was growing up, I used to keep a rag, some wipes, baby wipes, and a little powder in my car, right? Just in case I fell into some coochie and some condoms. Like that's how it was for me. Like I make sure my shit is right. Like, and I got my cologne and shit in the car. I go wipe myself down before I go to the shit crib, so I could go in there, just performing and being right. You know what I mean? I just think that's just
I
common
think every
courtesy.
man. I think every man keeps a bottle of cologne in their car, or definitely should.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I make sure that I come out smelling the way that I'm supposed to. You know what I mean? So, ladies, do me a favor. When you come to a nigga crib, you come to my crib especially. Make sure your shit right, man. Please,
Yeah, because
please, please.
if you look in my car, you're gonna find cologne. You're gonna find a nail care kit, because that's another thing too. I don't like my
Oh yeah, I
nails
see my
looking
nails clip.
crazy.
I got my nails. I got my clipper. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got that in
I
there
got
too.
a whole nail clipping kit. I got a nail file in my car. You're gonna find wipes. You're gonna find antibacterial spray. You're gonna find all types of cleaning shit in my
Yeah, I even got
car.
some
Like,
my nose clippers. Like this, my nose hair too long. I got my clippers for my nose and shit. I don't even play that. I don't know. The hygiene shit ain't the same out here with people, bro. Like people don't the self care, man. Self care, self love, man. So love yourself, man. Keep your shit right, man. Keep your shit tight, please, because the self care is very real, very real out here, man. Because that shit just crazy. People don't be self caring themselves no more. Like they don't give a fuck. So
can't expect
I'm just
people
like
to treat you better than you gonna treat yourself.
yourself. And everybody want, oh, buy me this and give me this, bitch. You can't even keep your ass clean. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, buy you what? Why I'm buying you anything? You know what I mean? So I just found out to be crazy. Real quick. Hold on, Mo. My camera fixes something. But yeah, you can hear me still. I'm trying to fix something over here. Um, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. Real quick. So let's ask you this question too. Saw Rick Ross on some celebrity news. Saw Rick Ross. He was in the airport and looked like he was flying commercial. When Rick Ross always talking about he got the jet, he flies jet and shit like that. But he was flying commercial. He had a towel over his head, kind of something like this, hiding
Hard trying
himself.
to hide. Mm-hmm.
Hide. Um, Not only that, they had another incident when somebody caught Mace, the
Mace.
rapper Mace, on a sky train going to the plane. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga called him broke. Look, he always rapper talking about he broke. So I don't know how you feel about that.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't I don't necessarily when it comes to certain people, I don't necessarily fault the public for holding them accountable to the expectation that they set, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm sure if they saw someone like a Kendrick Lamar or a J. Cole, they wouldn't even think about it, you know. But when you talk about a Rick Ross who's constantly um boasting about what he has, who's constantly boasting about his lifestyle, you understand, and then someone from the public sees something that totally contradicts your claim. You understand? I can't even knock them for not necessarily calling you out, but kind of being taken aback. Like, wait a minute, didn't you say, you know what I'm saying? Um, I don't think that people should be ridiculed, but I think that there's certain things that you kind of bring on yourself, right? Like for instance, I've seen J. Cole in the city riding by on a bicycle, right? But that never seemed out the ordinary to me because of how J. Cole carries himself. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Someone like Rick Ross, who it's all about money, it's all about the floss game, it's all about I have this, I have that. You know what I mean? You kind of set yourself up for that when somebody sees you in a position that doesn't really support what you've been claiming for God knows how long.
Mm. So for me, I don't think it's nobody's business. I don't care if you said you drive Rolls Royces and somebody catch you in a Pinto. That's what you felt like today. I think it's for me. This is your prerogative. I'm never gonna be embarrassed to what I got to dumb down to, and nobody knows the story. According to Rick Ross, he was putting some Sky link in his plane. It's the internet device that for your plane when it's in the sky. So they was repairing his plane or whatever the case may be, so he couldn't take the plane. That's according to his what he was saying. So for me, it's like nobody know what's happening, and maybe the jet is down, maybe it's not working. Maybe I'm taking a commercial flight, but I'm getting in first class. Maybe I needed to get out of town real quick, and there's no more first class tickets, and I got to sit in economy, and I got to take what I could get because I got to go where I got to get to. So for me, what I mean? I don't know if it's necessarily feel a way because of that, right? Like anybody, I don't like do what works for you, what's comfortable for you. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah, but
think sometimes,
the reason I can't agree with that is because anytime Rick Ross has had a beef, either when he had his exchange with Gilly or anyone else,
Mhm.
he always goes back to y'all are broke. He always goes back
No,
to
no, I hear
this is
you.
he always goes back to you're not living my lifestyle. I'm the boss. You shouldn't even be I shouldn't even be speaking to you because
No,
you're
no,
not on
but
my level. Uh, You
I
know,
don't know if he said people not on his level, but he does say I'm the boss and all that shit. But even the boss gotta sometimes the boss gotta take what he could get, and that's how life is. Life ain't doesn't work out for just because it's a misconception. Just because you got paper doesn't mean that everything always gonna fall how you want it to fall. Now, more things may work out for you than most, but some things just don't work out the way they're gonna
yeah,
work out. It don't matter fuck how much money you got. You know
I
what I'm saying?
totally agree with you,
You know,
but
that's life.
I compare that the same way that as we know, if you run around talking about you the toughest and you the hardest and this and that, sooner or later somebody's going to test you. You understand what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And it's because you've set an expectation. You get
Yeah,
where I'm
but
coming from?
no, I get you.
So to me, you can't set an expectation and then when somebody sees you and it doesn't match the expectation that you set, now that they're like, yo, but wait a minute, you said this. You're absolutely right. Everybody's human. Everybody has an off day. But
Yeah, and every
the
somebody
way
can
that
kick your ass, and then he
wait,
doesn't.
no, I agree, but what I'm saying is, but the way you carry yourself and the way you talk is because when if somebody else has an off day, you're quick to clown them. You get, or if somebody else doesn't have what you have, you're quick to clown them. So all I'm saying is you put yourself in that position to be clowned at those times. You get what I'm
No,
saying?
listen, I do get that position. Well, if you dished it, you got to be prepared to take it. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
not disagreeing with
I don't even think it's just
you.
about dishing it. It's about once again the expectation that you set. I think a lot of people create their own prisons, right?
So,
And I say this because I'll give you a perfect example, right? So like when we did Money and Violence and uh it was buzzing, right? Like it was buzzing. Everybody all over was talking about it. I never set an expectation that I was the richest dude in the world, and that's why I could have rode around in a Camry and nobody would care. You understand what I'm saying? But if I was constantly boasting about what I was making, if I was constantly boasting about luxury this, luxury that, and then somebody saw me riding around in a Camry, they would poke fun at me. You get where I'm coming from?
no, 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 and I get you. You know what I'm saying? But I still, if I was Rick Ross, I'm not hiding my face. I'm wearing that shit like a badge of
Well,
honor, man.
obviously
Like I don't.
and that's another thing. He hit his face. So obviously he knew what the reaction was gonna be.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess, yeah, you're right about that. So, what do you feel about Mace being on the Sky Train? For me, Mace being on the Sky Train, who gives a
well, the
like?
Sky Train is different because everybody takes the Sky Train. If you got to get from one part
Yeah,
of
to
the
get
airport to
to
the
but the
other,
airport, you gotta, yeah, like
you
how the
gotta get
fuck
on
you?
the Sky
The nigga
Train.
was
Like, there's
calling him
really no
palpitating him
avoiding
like,
that.
oh, this nigga broke. I'm like, yo, how
That
the fuck
doesn't
are you
make him.
calling this
You
nigga
know
broke?
that doesn't make him broke. That's like, you know how many millionaires ride the train. That's like
And
seeing a
that's
million on a train.
yo. One time I was on a plane, and this is why I like to fly first class when I can. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I sat by this guy, and this nigga was like, I don't know how much money he had, but I knew I looked him up because we had a long conversation, and he was telling me he's the biggest. He owns the second or the third biggest steel company. He's the owner of it, right? The steel. So you know this nigga's worth hundreds of
Yeah,
million
that's a
dollars, maybe
commodity.
even a billion,
Steel is a
right?
commodity, so he's like
He's
billion.
up.
That's old.
So
That's
we was.
old money.
I was flying from New York to LA, and I'm going, yo, you could this motherfucker he could go take he definitely could go take his jet or do whatever the case may be. But that's the problem sometimes. People and stay rich sometimes. I don't know if people really know what a private jet costs. You know, the fuel
Jet
alone could
fuel is
cost you
crazy,
anywhere from
bro.
20 to 30,000 just to fly. Like, so imagine you gotta fly four or five times a
Lot of
week.
people, a lot of athletes and entertainers went broke because they constantly flew private.
Constant, yeah.
Yeah,
So funny. I don't know if I want to say this, but I remember in the beginning, I won't say who the other rapper is. I remember Chris Lighty used to fight with 50. I used to overhear conversation, Chris talking to 50, and he used to fight the 50 was like, yo, put me on economy, bro. When he was like 50, like in the club, and he like, yo, put me on economy. And he fight with that nigga, yo, you can take a jet. No. And he goes, yo, Chris was like, yo, we're gonna put you on first class. Yo, how much that first class ticket is? I'm not paying for that shit. Right? And this is 50 got money. So I used to respect it because the motherfucker would be like, I don't care if I got money. Put me in what you call it. And he still had to fight to put him just in first class. And there was another rapper, which I won't say that rapper's name, that was also at Violator, that he had a problem with buying motherfucking uh always on a private jet, right? And but a couple of times when I was at Violator for 5 or 6 years, I was there, like the fly on the wall. I was, they managed me, but I wasn't big
just
at
call
that
it what it
time.
was. You was nosy.
No, not being nosy. No, I wasn't being nosy. It's conversations that go through the
I'm
office. You know
just
what I'm saying?
messing with you, man.
Yeah. And that rapper was always being broke, always trying to figure out, yo, Chris, you got to give me this next check. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, if he paying 20, $30,000 a flight, you know how much money this nigga could be saving? He just fly. You can fly you and your whole crew for 10,000. Like, the fuck are you talking about? But now I used to watch Fifth that was up, and I used to say, damn, he's smart. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Listen, man. If you're gonna live that life, don't be afraid to live your life, man. And I'm not hiding from nobody. I'm gonna wear my shit, whatever. Fuck it. Um, yeah. Quick topic time again. So we got. Oh, other celebrity news. I don't know how you feel about this. So I saw this shit, and ASAP Rocky was on stage. I don't know if you saw that. And they called him, and he had like a thong on stage. Like, now I know this ain't my business, but this what niggas doing nowadays. They wear thongs.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes,
Okay, but
it's called gender fluidity, bro. And you know they
so is
just
that bad? Like, are we gonna get canceled for saying that men should wear thongs?
you
A G
you
string?
could because
Why?
it's bro, it's crazy, it's crazy,
Hey, I don't know about that, man.
it's
Can that
crazy,
even be comfortable for a nigga to wear a thong? You can't
bro.
have no girth on you if you wear a thong. Like that shit gotta be the most uncomfortable shit in the world. Like, why would you put that on?
I don't know
And
because I
ladies, do
don't
y'all
know.
find that sexy? Is that like a sexy thing? Because he got one of the baddest chicks on the planet. To me. I love Rihanna, right? Shout out to Rihanna. And I'm not taking no shots at ASAP. I'm just asking,
I think that
like,
shit is weird. I think that shit is
yeah, it's a
weird,
little
bro.
different, bro. Like,
It's not
and he a
different.
straight.
It's weird.
Hold up. And for what we know, he's a straight heterosexual guy. So this ain't like taking a shot at a gay guy or nothing like that. Because I don't want nobody to feel like, oh, we taking shots at, what I mean, the community.
Yeah, but
No,
this the same. But this the same dude to be wearing heels, to be carrying purses. Like, Like, come on, bro. Where do you draw the line? Like
I
it's
don't
it's
know, bro.
just
Like
it's
it's
just it's just
not for
weird,
fashion, bro.
bro. It's
Not for
just
fashion, bro.
it's just weird. Like everybody's talking about this the gender fluidity and all, and it's so funny because I was having a conversation with my 6-year-old daughter um the other day, and we were
Shout
talking
out to
about
Avery.
like we were talking about colors and favorite colors, and I was like, "What's your favorite color?" And she was like, "I'm a girl, daddy. Of course my favorite color is pink." Right? And it's so funny because in this day and time they will tell you her thinking that way there's something wrong with it, right? Because they're saying that
What?
that's because she said I'm a girl daddy, of course my favorite color is pink, but they would say that that's the patriarchy. That's because she's growing up in a misogynist world and she's being put in a box and thinks that there's something wrong with her, like she's supposed to like pink. But yo, bruh, at the end of the day, man, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. And it's so funny because I'm not sure if you're familiar who Elliot Page is.
Hmm.
They were just interviewing Elliot Page and they were asking, well, I can't call Elliot Page a her anymore, him, because Elliot Page is a trans man. And they were asking him what toxic masculinity is and or what
Yeah.
masculinity is. And bruh, the answer was like asking a river what a cloud is. Like it had nothing to do with nothing. And why are you asking someone that was born a woman what it means to be a man? It just doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah, I
it's-
don't know. Look, I was just trying to reminisce back to when Sid was a kid. You know, I never remember ever telling her pink was her favorite color. She liked pink and purple, and that was just her thing. Nobody told her to pick that. That's what
Nobody
she
told
liked for herself.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And my thing, just saying that's what she picked for herself, I think just like you gotta have respect for a person that pick a gender for themselves, you gotta have respect for a person that pick to choose that's what they like for themselves. So I never told her that. You know, if I try to put blue or red on her, Daddy, I don't want that. That's not I like this is my favorite color. You know what I'm saying? And girls wear she was like, girls wear this. You know what I'm saying? That in her mind, that's
Exactly.
what little girls wore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it could
That's
be a
her
taught
perception
behavior.
of what a
It was,
female is.
yeah, it was softer. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I didn't. But the thorn thing was a little crazy. I must say so myself. It was a little crazy. I want to move on real quick. Let's look at the time. A comedian and social media content creator, Haha Davis, was on Shannon Sharp. Now he had a couple of topics I wanted to talk about, but this one thing was like, yo, he went to a swingers club with his girl, who's still his girl, by the way. And he said when they went to the swingers club, he thought it'd be cool because he saw everybody that I guess was like famous. They was kind of doing this shit, and he said, "Yo, so we gonna go down there." You know what I'm saying? So, he said he let a nigga pipe his girl out, and he had like the big salon, and he, was giving it to her. And she was taking it, looked like she enjoyed it. He said, "Yo, to this day, he's still hurt from that shit."
Yo, bro, let me tell you
So,
something, man.
hold on, time out, bro. I just want to say, I already know what you're gonna say. But the chat shit, I already know what you're gonna say. But what I'm gonna tell you is, haha, I just want to say this real quick. Now, I've been offered to go to swingers club with ladies in the past, and I know niggas that went to swingers clubs in the past. It's rules that got to be set before we walk in this motherfucking club. I'm going in with. First of all, me and you could engage with some chicks. I could engage with some chicks. I'm not letting no nigga. I don't think no real. They're not dissing. Davis, but no real nigga. I ain't letting no nigga touch my
Yo,
chick. Like,
bruh,
it's not
first of all,
happening.
I'm
It's,
going
it's,
to
it's
a
not
swinger.
happening, bro.
Only chick, only chick that I'm letting another nigga pipe is a chick that's not mine, bruh. A chick that I like, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not letting no other man touch my woman. Like
My
that
woman,
sounds
like it's not happening. It's
crazy to
crazy to
me,
me.
yo, bruh. Listen, and I always say this. I always say this. Once another dick enters the chat, I'm out, bruh.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I already knew you were gonna say that. Yeah,
Like
but
what?
no
Yo,
other
bro, what
chick,
is
no
this?
other
What
man
is
can
this?
touch my
But
chick, bro.
see, but this is what I'm saying.
It ain't
This is
happening,
why
man.
this is why I feel like we now live in a world where men are being Jedi mind tricked, right?
Yes,
Because
and no,
I've
but I think it's
hold
money
on,
niggas. That's the
hold
same thing
on,
what Puff was doing. They got some money and they changed up on niggas.
hold on.
They like, yo, we gonna
No,
try
but
some
it's
other
not.
shit.
It's not that. It's not that. And I say that men are being Jedi mind tricked because we live in a world now that's telling you like, oh, if you're not okay with that, that makes you an insecure man, right? And then dudes that are not comfortable in their own skin want to prove something. So they're like, oh, nah, 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 I'm not insecure. So I'm gonna let this happen. But then when it goes down, they can't help but to feel how they really feel. You
He said,
understand where I'm coming
I
from?
know how many
And
years
I'm gonna
ago it
tell you
was,
this.
but he
I
still
don't give
bothers
a
to this
hot
day about that.
I don't give a hot goddamn if you call it insecure. I don't give a hot
Mhm.
goddamn if you call it toxic masculinity. I don't give a hot goddamn if you call it controlling. I'm never letting another nigga touch my woman.
I can't. Yeah,
Never.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Never.
shit can't even happen on my watch. Like, what the
Nigga,
fuck? And I know.
what?
Oh, you fucking crazy.
Yo,
Yo, haha, man.
I don't care if his joint was this big. I could give a hot goddamn. I don't care if his joint was nigga.
You can't
I
touch
am
it.
never going to sit there and willingly let another man touch my woman. Like that sounds crazy to
Yo,
me.
haha, haha. You played yourself.
Played yourself, bro. Like what?
Played your motherfucking self, nigga. No, nigga. Like I said, she could touch the other girls if you wanted to. The other girls
Yeah,
can't even touch her. But
exactly.
they not. No nigga
But
ain't touching
a
you.
dude,
And
yo,
like
bro,
you said, it could be this
yo, hold
small,
on.
this big.
Yeah,
You not touching it.
there's
It's
a.
not. I'd have fought in the place.
How
He'd
am
have
I
had. I would
supposed
have
to
beat
still
his
feel
ass.
like? How am I supposed to still feel like a man after I watch another nigga fuck mines? Like what? Nah, I'm
And then
sorry,
he was
bro.
like, he said something like this. He called her on the phone saying, "Girl, we had a time last night."
And like I
Yeah,
said,
give
if
everybody.
that ain't if that ain't my shorty, if that's something that I'm just knocking down, then yeah, man, we can go there. I can watch you do all of that. But once it
Oh,
comes to
that shit. Yeah.
something that's me, hell no.
I can't do it, bro. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. More power to you. Another thing he had brought up though,
Y'all are
that was
being
kind of
yo, and I just got one last thing to say, man. Y'all dudes out there are getting tricked out of your masculinity, bro. That shit is wild. Y'all getting
yeah.
tricked
Listen,
out of it.
oh
Y'all
man, that shit was.
because everybody knows men are naturally territorial. Men went to war over their women in history. I'm talking about whole countries. And y'all are
Well,
getting tricked.
that's a good
Y'all are letting
segue.
yeah, y'all are letting people trick y'all out of y'all masculinity, making y'all think that what comes natural to y'all is wrong. That's what I don't get.
Well, that's a good segue to what we got to do. Another thing. I saw Fab the other day. He was saying on Angelique's show that
Mm.
90% of the rap beats, 95% of the rap beats are
Be over a
because of
female.
women over
Hmm.
females. And I honestly believe that. Like this be countries and wars was fought because of
Of
females.
course.
You know what I'm saying? A woman to make you do
The
something
Trojan War was
crazy.
fought over Helen of Troy.
Yeah. It'll make you do a woman will make you do something, make you crash the fuck out. Like, you know what I'm saying? A woman to make you lose your mind. I always tell
I mean, hopefully in the nigga younger years, man. I don't think after a nigga mature,
yeah,
God
but
willing.
I tell people all the time, I'd rather have beef and problems with a gangster nigga or so-called gangster nigga
Then a
who I
nigga in
know is
love,
true to
right?
blood than a nigga
Then the
who in
nigga in
love
love.
and that's emotional. And he could be pussy. He could be the pussiest nigga in the world. He could probably never did nothing in his life, but that
That shit
nigga
gonna put a
mind
battery in his back,
clicked,
bro.
and that nigga is gonna kill you. He's gonna kill his girl. Then he's gonna kill himself. He might even kill the kids. And you got to be careful with men and a woman. That's why bringing up that topic was saying men are very territorial, especially when you love a woman. That shit hit hard. Like, and that's why some niggas who
But
fall in
let's
love and fall out of love or they get hurt, they can't bounce back because
but let's but
that
let's but
pain
let's
for a
but
nigga is
let's
different, bro.
let's also speak to the other element. It isn't even just about the love and the emotional attachment. There's also an element of respect that's there too. Because
Mm,
men, you have to remember, respect is like oxygen for men, bro. You
mm.
understand? And a lot of dudes, that shit, disrespect leads to a mental breakdown. And that's what people don't get because that shit literally chips at who a man is and how he
Yes, because he
sees
got to live
himself.
with himself and
And
how
how,
he
yeah, he
see
got how he
himself.
sees himself. Yeah.
He start talking himself, damn, I'm pussy, my nigga. That shit work, word. No, I ain't having that shit. He starts the second. He's
Yeah,
repeatedly
because
telling himself he ain't
because
enough.
he
He can't get
he
over that.
can't
He can't
move
push
he
past
can't
it.
move forward without handling that situation because it's
Situation.
always going to haunt him.
Awesome. Yeah, you're 100% right. That shit,
Because
that
because
shit.
what it is is it redefines who he is. It's like when we were growing up, right? You could have been the coolest nigga in the world. Once a nigga play you, now you become the pussy nigga. Who you are becomes redefined to the world.
No, no,
And
no,
now,
you're 100%
and
right.
because of that, now you're treated differently. You understand what I'm saying?
No, you're 100% right, man. You're 100% right. Quick question.
That's why I can't.
Yeah.
I can't wait till y'all see what we got brewing, man. I
Man,
swear
yeah,
to God.
relax, Mo. We're fucking relax.
I swear
When
to
it happens,
God.
let them. It's coming. Just relax, nigga. Don't talk about the shit. Relax.
I ain't talking
You
about
feel?
nothing.
Okay, all right, cool, cool, cool. Real quick. Now, if a woman get caught lying about her baby father, who her baby father is, and she had the wrong man paying child support for however long, it doesn't matter. Should she be responsible to pay that money back or even possibly go to
Definitely.
jail?
I mean, I think, but I also do think that it may be no way to really decipher, but if it's something that she had prior knowledge of and it was done maliciously, then I think that she should have to reimburse that man. But then there's the other situation where she's not sure who her kid's father is, right? And she doesn't definitely know.
But you know
I
what I
think that
feel, but no, but see, I even in that because I think she still should be responsible because that should be your responsibility to make sure you should know who you fucking and how's it going down. And the reason why I say that because if a man is not responsible and he goes, yeah, I'm gonna pull out, or even if he is responsible and put on a condom and the condom break and she still get pregnant, he still got to be responsible to take care of that kid no matter what. So it's so funny. We'll tell a person they can go to jail because they inebriated and get in a car and hit some people and go, yo, you was driving drunk,
and that
so you got
wasn't
to
their
be held
intention.
accountable. That was an intention to be held accountable. Now you got pregnant and you don't know who the kid father is. You still should be held accountable, even though that wasn't your intention. But you put somebody through some shit emotionally and drug them out and made them pay financially and put them in a responsibility that wasn't even theirs, and that was your fault because you wasn't responsible to know who you was with and at the time you got pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Conception
All right.
happened. So that's
I guess
yeah.
I can agree with you. Did you hear about what they're doing in Europe? In Europe, now if a woman tells you not to ejaculate in her and you do, they're considering that rape.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Well,
That's
I don't know if
crazy.
that's rape. I don't know if
No,
that's
but
rape. That's
that's what
disrespect.
they that's no, but that's what they're beginning to
But
that's what they're saying they're going to
how would
categorize it
you
as.
know?
What do you mean?
How would you know? Like,
How would she know if you came in her?
I think no woman should be playing with anybody. I don't, because man could pre-com and shit can happen. Like shit happens, but um, I think once you know a man is having sex with you unprotected, anything is liable to
I
happen.
think it comes
Whether
with the
you,
territory. Exact. I think it comes with the
yeah,
territory.
on
It's just
both
like
sides, not
listen.
just
It's
on women's side, on
Yeah,
both
but it
sides.
also but I'm just saying, but isn't that the excuse that they always use where it's like, oh, but the man said he didn't want to have the kid after she got pregnant, and they're like, oh, well then he should have wore rubber because if you have unprotected sex, then you know that this is what could possibly happen. You
I mean, yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you have unprotected sex with a man, then you know that his pullout game may be weak and he may ejaculate in you. Like that's a possibility.
Yeah, it's on both. It's supposed to be responsibility on both sides. It
Yeah,
can't
but we
just
both
be
know
one
that's
spot.
not the
Yeah.
way. That's not the way the world works. Like, there's no
I hear you, but
accountability on this. I
since
said
since
we
you
both know that's not how the world works. Like, there's no accountability on this side.
no, no, I get you. But since you brought up Europe, we might as well just stay in Europe for a little bit. Europe is now talking about they're going to be banning social media for children under the age of 16, so they can't like watch TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, all them shits, any social media under 16. I actually think that's a good idea. I think kids will have a hard time dealing with that, but I think if you raising up the next generation where they don't rely on so like I was saying, I think for the what we were saying about social media being banned for the kids, I think for the next generation it'll be good. The current kids might have a hard time dealing with it, but I think some of the pressures of just being a 16-year-old or 10-year-old of from that social media could bring mentally, the bullying, the constant pressure of keeping up with the Joneses. I think that could be healthy for them, you know what I'm saying? And making kids go back to just being kids instead of yo, I was out the other night and everybody was just on the phone like this in the restaurant. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, like the fuck. You know what I mean? You don't go outside, you don't see kids playing double dutch or skelly or freeze tag. Niggas just on the phone. So I think we could get kids back to being kids, and I think it'd be a good thing, you know what I mean? And if they didn't do it for disbanded totally, maybe give them only access for 4 hours a day or 3 hours a day type shit. You know what I mean? But or give them access to like Chat GPT or something that they need for school. But I think that's a good thing for kids, man. Like to slow down the social media for me. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think that would be a great idea. In all honesty, pull kids away from the virtual world and bring them back into the real world, man. Just, I think kids' social skills are deteriorating because of social media, and I think that it would definitely be beneficial, man. They they've proven that long exposure to social media, especially for kids, increases anxiety and a whole
Hmm.
bunch of other emotional issues, so cutting down their use of it, I think that would be very, 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 very beneficial.
Another thing I want to talk about real quick. So me and my homegirl was talking the other day, and she got kids and shit like that, and she was just telling me how she don't really bring men over the house, and she don't want her kids really seeing who she date, and it has to be like a real serious thing. And it was so funny, like the next day there was this thing I was watching, and it was they had did a study basically saying like when your kids don't see you in healthy relationships, they tend not to have healthy relationships neither. So,
Hmm.
and I was kind of telling her like I think we do a disservice a lot of times not showing our kids that we do date, or we even date with boundaries, or we date and put serious people in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times a lot of times we treat our kids for the now, and we don't look at our kids and like, yo, this kid is gonna grow up from being 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into adulthood. And sometimes the things that you put around your kids, because you think you're doing a great service, when your son or your daughter go out there and don't know how to pick a man or pick a woman in their life because they never seen you do it, or or you being coddled as a little boy and you go, oh, you raised a mama's boy, or girl don't know how a man is supposed to treat because he ain't never seen a man treat you in a certain way. You know what I mean? I just think sometimes we get so caught up into I'm gonna protect my kid at all costs and not think about protecting the adult that your kid turned into later on in life. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying? A lot of time. Go ahead.
I think it's a natural instinct as a parent to protect what you value, which is to protect your children.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, we see these stories all over social media of women bringing men into their lives and them molesting their children or hurting their kids. You know what I mean? So, I definitely think that as a parent in 2026, you can't just bring anybody around your child. You do have to be vigilant. You do have to screen people, but just like anything in life, I think you have to find that balance. There has to be a balance there because once again, like you said, too much of anything isn't good for anything. You know what I mean? Too much of anything is hurtful. You don't want to isolate your child. You want to expose your child to seeing you in a relationship, seeing you the interactions between you and someone of the opposite sex because that's where they're going to learn. But at the same time, you don't want to have a revolving door of people coming into your home because that increases the chances of you allowing someone around your child that may hurt your kid in some way.
So I do agree with what you're saying, but I also, once again, there has to be a responsibility and accountability for how you choose and who you pick your dating, right? And I do think there are instances in the world where people come in and do not nice things to children, but I don't think if, and I'm not saying any one child, no child should be a victim. But if you take 100 people, you're probably talking about two incidents out of 100. And I just don't think, I think that'll also make a woman or man, because this go for men, both men and women, because they both, if you're single, you bring somebody home. I think that you should also be aware of how you dating, not exempting your kids from it, but also make you go, yo, listen, your kids shouldn't be your crutch from you dating. That it shouldn't be, oh, my kids, 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 kids. You're putting your kids before you because one, kids grow up and they're gonna leave your monkey ass. You're gonna still be by your motherfucking self. Two, then when they leave you and they can't really get it together, they come back to you because now they gotta come back because you didn't give them the tools that they needed to go out there and fend for themselves. I just see not just in dating though. I feel like that happens a lot just with parents a lot of times we choose our kids now. Oh, I'm not gonna make them go outside to the store. Cool. Now when they go outside, they don't know how to deal with outside shit because you ain't never let them do it. Sometimes you can protect so much where it becomes a hindrance, and then you go, yo, that person don't know how to do this, and you like asking yourself why they so quote unquote dumb, or they don't know how to spend money, or they don't know how to do stuff because you blocked them and tried to protect them at all costs hindered who that person became as a man or a woman later on in life. And sometimes you gotta let life happen. So it's better for the kids long term. Yes, I get it
I,
in the short term period, but in the long term period, nobody thinks about 10, 20 years from now. You know how many parents I know that got problems with their kids now and they go, damn, I shouldn't have did this. I should have did what my mother did. I hear that all the time consistently.
I
You know
get,
what I'm
I
saying?
get,
Because they coddled the kid so fucking much and now they mad at the kid who that kid is.
I get what you're saying as far as letting life happen, but I'll be honest with you. I would rather have a child who has to come back home. I would rather have a child who isn't really prepared for the world than to ever have to deal with the guilt of knowing that I brought somebody around my kid, my nigga, that harmed them. You know,
Yeah, I'm gonna say, listen, like I said, that's one out of
yeah,
two, and I'm
that
not
and
saying
that's
no
why I
kid
said
should
that,
be.
and that's why I said there
Yeah,
has
that's
to
not
be
really a
there has
thing
to
that
be that.
happens.
No, I know, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying is
on a
there
large
has to.
scale every
That's
day.
why I said yeah. That's why I said there has to be a balance, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, let's be honest. The scariest thing, right, is the fact that you never really know anybody in this world. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
You can
true.
know somebody for 10 years. You know, people are great actors, man. Like, you understand that sometimes you have people who do have malicious intent and they will literally sit there and act for 3, 4, 5 goddamn years until they find that moment. Like, I mean, we've heard these stories. And I'm not saying that 99 out of 100 people are molesters. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is every person that you walk through the door, it is a roll of the dice. You know what I'm saying? And the more people you bring through your
100%.
door, the probability goes up. You know, that's the
Yeah,
scary thing.
yeah, and I just think people gotta date smarter, and you gotta be accountable for who you bring your home. Still, you know what I mean? I think that should make your process and your vetting process a little bit more efficient. But I don't think you stop because now you got a child who don't know how to. The study was crazy. There was like how many divorces, abuse that person causes to the other person. Like
Uh,
now your son or your daughter became the abuser because of what you didn't allow and they didn't ever saw. So they had this whole list of things that happen to children that don't see it, or they accept abuse because they never knew how to accept love because they never seen their parents in it. So it was
cause,
just bugged out. Like the
cause I'm a, cause
detrimental
I'm,
shit that's happening on the other side of this shit was crazy of the list of shit that they list out. I'm like, God damn. Like just not seeing your parents in healthy relationships,
cause
it could be also fucked up as an adult. Imagine your kid becoming the molester or your kid becoming an abuser to somebody else's kids because they don't know how to deal with that shit. Like,
no, no, I
because
get
you ain't
it.
never told them.
I get it,
And
you
that's
know,
not a lot,
because
but that happens too. So I was just
I
looking
mean,
at the list. I'm like, God damn.
I was raised by a single mother, and that's one of the credits that I do have to give my moms. Like my mother, yo, bro, I didn't see my mother with no man for decades, bro. And my mother always used to say, like, look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna live my life for my children, and I'm not bringing no man home to mistreat my children or this and that. Like my mother, she had she dealt with men here and there. You understand what I'm saying? But for her, that was just her priority, right? Like, and I don't even think
Mm-hmm,
that just had to do with her values as a woman, you know.
mm-hmm.
um and looking back, like, I don't know, it may have affected me and how I saw relationships, right? But even looking back at my age now, I can appreciate her for that, right? Because from her eyes, it was just having respect for her children, you know. um But I do understand where you're coming from. Like, I don't know how that affected me, how
See,
I might have been different if I saw, you know, my mother with a man who treated her well, but in the same breath, I mean, I think I turned out okay.
So for me, so we're polar opposites, and sometimes no shots at moms. Sometimes I feel like women get into that, and that become once again the kid become the crutch, and it become the excuse because they scared to venture out. When my mother, I saw my mother date three guys in my lifetime. And all those guys I saw as good guy. And the third guy was her husband was with her for the last 40 years. Right. And
Mhm.
I learned from my stepfather what it was to come home and take care of the family, learn what it was, even when days I didn't like him. You know, if my mother was pursuing something else and she had to do school or do anything, the lights were still on, the bills were still paid. We went on vacation every fucking year out the country. None of my friends ever went to motherfucking 42nd Street at that time to go out the country. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it also resonated with me as a father when I was with my kid because of what my stepdad he was still willing to do for us, and we wasn't even his. So I just think I'm not saying either one is right or wrong. I just think we both come from the
Yeah,
opposite
there's
sides of
benefit.
the
I mean,
fence.
there's benefits
It's
from
better,
both
yeah, you know what
options.
I'm
You
saying?
know what I'm
So
saying?
yeah, so for me, just seeing that, like,
And
yeah,
look, man, there's two sides to every coin, right? Like
mm-hmm.
there's there are young men who grew up in my situation who didn't turn out the way I did. There's young men who grew up in your situation
Situation
that
that turned
it
out
was a
fucked up, yeah.
toxic situation. You understand what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There's two sides to every coin, man. There's
Corner,
benefits to it, and then there's the other side. You know what I mean?
yeah. But I like some. What I would agree with you on wholeheartedly. People have to find a balance. And that's actually been my thing for the whole month and the last 2 months is about balance, man. Because we go to too far extremes with shit. We go,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't create a medium place where we
But you
could
know why
just,
that happens, right? It happens because we go into things kind of naive, right? Not
mm-hmm,
aware of what can happen. And then when something bad happens that hurts us, fear steps in and then we go all the way to the other side.
stop.
Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Quick question. Since we just talking about relationships too, can you stay with a person who constantly accuses you of cheating?
bruh, that's nah. Eventually that shit gets exhausting, man. It does.
Yeah,
And
even
the
when you're not
reason
cheating.
and this is the thing. It gets exhausting for a couple of reasons. And I think that this is where that person doesn't think about it. Like it sort of feels like you're making deposits into a piggy bank, but nothing is accumulating, right? Because you're being good to this person, you're going out there, you're trying your best to build trust, but nothing is accumulating. You understand? So every time
Mm-hmm.
you get accused, especially if you're not doing anything, like it just it's exhausting because it just feels like, damn, like we've been together for how long? And I've been proving to you, but it's like that wins me no trust. Nothing because at the end of the day, although it's because of their insecurity, it translates to you as lack of trust.
Okay, yeah. No, definitely. For me, I've been in that situation a few times, and for me, it's like, yo, I've done came home, leave my phone in the room, go out to dinner, leave my phone on the table, turned on. Um, and it's like, yo, you still asking me this shit every fucking day, bro, or you making some type of gesture about other bitches or this, that, and the third. Like, yo, listen, bro. All you gonna do at this point is just push me to another bitch because I'm getting tired. I might as well just start fucking so you have something to really talk about. That's how I be feeling sometimes. To me, it's like, yo, why are you constantly bringing this shit up? And I'm chilling, and I've been chilling. You know what I'm saying? And it's even happened to me in times where I don't even got no history of cheating with you because I ain't never did nothing to be, you know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? And there's been times, if I have to be honest, where I did cheat in person trying to, regain their trust. But even at that point too, if now I'm committed and doing what I gotta do, though, stop fucking asking me this. Like a- after you do this shit for like 3 months, 5, 6 months of this shit, I can't do no more, bro. Like I don't, like,
Yeah,
I'm
that shit
done.
it's draining. It's draining,
I'm done.
bro.
I'm done. You
It's
know,
draining.
real quick, because I don't know how much time we got, so I just want to breeze through this shit real quick. So, study shows that men are more drawn to women that wear no makeup.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I mean, there's nothing that I can't stand more than what they call the face beat. You know, when it's the contouring and it's basically like it's a whole face. It looks like a borderline clown.
Yo, you know what I can't take? I do love a clean face girl that just look good with no makeup on. Like I do. I just can't take, and the makeup don't really bother me. What it really bothers me is don't fucking come to my crib with makeup on and don't bring no makeup wipes and you put your face on my white sheets or you put your face against my fucking t-shirt and leaving that shit pisses me off, bro. I really get ticked off for that. So, ladies, if y'all could calm that shit down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like that should be pissing me off. And I think we're getting back to the point where even the BBL shit with the fat asses all the girls have. I
It's
see
slowing
men like, yo,
down.
man, I'm good, man. Like, I don't need all that shit. Men are starting to fight back. We putting up our dukes and go, yo, we don't need all this shit, bro. Like, I don't know if y'all doing this shit for y'all bitches, but for y'all crew, but I just need you. I'd rather you be dope and your love for me, how you care for me, you ride out with a nigga, my confidant, my pillow talking buddy. Like that's what's important to me. You know what I'm saying? Some food here and there, somebody that's gonna, that I could dump some education on and go splurge on, but somebody that's also gonna come splurge in the crib, maybe clean up something, have fun and enjoy, and look good doing it. And I don't think you need an ass full of makeup. I don't think you need an ass full of. Some people need a weave because they be having little bald spots. They ain't got no edges and shit like that. They need help, so I get it. But I don't think y'all need 10 inches long eyelashes. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
God,
I don't think you need.
eyelashes
I don't
need to
think you
go out the
need 10
style.
inch nails. You can get the little tips, little white nails, and I'm cool. Long as your nail, for me, long as your nails is clipped, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't think women know how much good attributes they have. Sometimes when I watch girls, I just be like, damn, God, how a girl just walk like that? Like her walk is attractive. Like, God damn, the curves in her body, just the breasts. Or if she got little breasts, you just see some cleavage. Like the shit y'all got is hot. And y'all just keep trying to add on more and more and more shit. You know what I mean? So listen, ladies, I love you natural. I do love you with some little lip gloss sometimes. Don't come around no ashy lips now. I'm not saying all that, but keep some good attributes about yourself, man. Some natural attributes about yourself, I should say. And we good, man. You know what I mean? Hygiene is a must. Please smell good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's how I feel about that, Moses. Real quick. So everybody's been talking about the Jay-Z Target, what you call it. People just coming off, the black community's been just coming off of the ban of Target. I had a lot of people who banned Target, didn't go to
The Target
Target because of the
boycott.
DI boycotts. I even stopped shopping at Target for a little while. Didn't really understand why, but it was in solidarity of black people said it was going. Fuck it. I don't know why, but we all part of this shit. Fuck it. Kind of the conversation we had the other day. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I kind of fell back from Target. And so funny, I have a friend who she's a manager at Target, and they probably didn't report this on the news. She's like one of the heads up in her Target, and she was like, "Yo, how much that boycott really fucked them over?" She's like, "Yo, how much jobs had to be lost, and how much things had to change because black people were not shopping at Target." And I ain't never knew that it was a fact. And she's like, "No, this shit is really hurting our company." She said, "I'm in meetings like every week about how to get shit back on point because people are not shopping at Target." So how do you feel about the Jay-Z situation, I guess, going at Target? Do you have any thoughts about that at all?
What is he doing exactly?
I think he dropping the 30-year anniversary of Reasonable Doubts, an exclusive thing that you only could buy at Target, vinyl, tape, CDs, I don't know, something like that. You only could buy them at Target. So for the 30th year anniversary of Reasonable Doubts, he did a partnership with Target, and you
I
only could
mean,
get it exclusive at Target.
well, I guess I would stand kind of conflicted, and the reason I say I would stand kind of conflicted is I know that outside of what's broadcasted to the public, I mean, Jay does a lot of things behind the scenes, for the culture and for the community. So
Mhm.
I don't know exactly what his reasons are for doing business with Target or going against the boycott. I mean, was the boycott a formal thing. Like, was this a thing that we all agreed, like, this is what we doing? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, man, everybody, especially as of lately, man, they try to really demonize Jay. You know, I see it all over social media. Either it's he's in the Illuminati, or they trying to attach him to Epstein, where it's basically been said like that he had no involvement with the man. You understand what I'm saying? Um, but as far as what I know, as far as my interactions with Jay, as far as what I know that he does outside of the public light, for the culture, I mean, he seems to be a dude who it's pretty much, has integrity as far as his is concerned. So I don't know what his reasons are for doing that. I'm not the type of person where as soon as somebody does something that may be questionable to me, I just totally forget about who they've been for God knows how long. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna act like everything he's done doesn't exist because of this one thing. um, so I don't know. I mean, for me, I think
So
the good, I think the good that he's done, has earned him for me to deserve to at least, wanting to look into it more and figure out what the reason is before I just totally just demonize him.
so I guess this is I would tell you I would agree with you that things that I've heard, things that we witnessed ourselves with him helping us out, um, and didn't really want nothing out of it. I would tell you that Jay Z is definitely doing things behind the scenes to help people, but I also think Jay has to have a response, should have a responsibility when he do things, and what I mean by that. Jay's always aware. He was aware of money and violence when it was in nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like he was aware of what's happening. And he got to hear the chatter in the background. Now, I just think sometimes when you're that high up on the totem pole, yeah, you have this, not him, but that's just think people high up generally. I don't got to explain myself to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when it comes in communal issues, I think Jay or his team maybe have to have a better explanation of why. Because the same thing happened with the Super Bowl shit.
The
Everybody
NFL.
was NFL, Colin Kaepernick. But to me, if you watch the Super Bowl, I don't think we've seen one white act since that time Jay Z took over.
Hmm.
Like our coach has been ruling the halftime, black and brown coach has been ruling the halftime show. And that also speaks values because people um, got an opportunity to feed their families. People got opportunities to see us more. People got opportunities to be like, yo, I can be that person and I could do the Super Bowl one day. So yes, but sometimes it's doing things without explanation or saying like, yo, I know the Target boycott going on, but this is why I'm doing that. Sometimes people may look at it like, oh, it's just a money play. He doing that for himself. And it may
But
not
let's,
be that. It could
but
be,
let's,
no, hold on.
but let's
Let
be
me finish.
honest.
Let
Hmm.
me finish what I'm saying. So it could be, look, I'm telling Target my people are good to fuck with, and maybe behind the scenes, if I do well, Target's gonna let 5, 6 other niggas come in and do whatever. We don't know the behind the business side of it. I don't know what that is, but sometimes I just feel like to so we don't fight each other. Because a lot of time we get into these debates, this killer debate, so we don't gotta fight each other. We can just focus on what the plan is moving forward. And I know he don't owe it to nobody to say nothing because he can do what the fuck he want. But at the same time, to keep the infighting, yo, this is why we doing this, and this is
Styles,
how it's going. So that's just
Styles.
how I feel.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You and I both know that. First of all, even if he gives an explanation, they're still going to demonize him. That's number one. You and I both
I
know
don't
this
think so. I
because
think when Jay Z
hold on,
speaks, every
no,
time
that's
he's
not.
spoken,
Hold on,
people
hold on,
people side with him a little bit differently.
hold on. That's what history has shown. Like the peanut gallery, it's the same way. Like you know this. A man could be accused of something, and even when he's exonerated, people still treat
People,
him
yeah,
as if. Yeah. So at the and I also think that I know, for me, because I kind of operate that way too. I don't defend what I'm not guilty of. You get what I'm saying? So if my intentions are good, in my mind, it just be like, well, you know what? The work will speak for itself, and y'all can thank me later. It's that simple. I'm not going to sit here and defend something where that's not my intention. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you get crucified in the court of public opinion, and they expect you to defend something that you didn't even do. And it's like I'm
And I'm
not
not
defending that.
disagreeing with not even disagreeing with you that I'm saying when it's something this big and is all this light is on it, sometimes you should explain. And I'm not talking about for everything. There's a bunch of things he don't gotta explain. But I just think this was a big controversial thing for the last 2 years or so when the president was in and they killed DEI and Target was one of the people that said basically fuck black people. And then Pastor Jamal Bryant came out and said, yo, nobody can shop at Target and people stopped shopping at Target. Yo, a girl I was dating who shop at Target, Target's our fucking house. Stop shopping at Target. It was informing me like why we can't shop at Target. So sometimes I think when you have something that big and you're that big a persona in that community, the president do all the time. You come out and you talk to his base and you got to talk to your base. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying for a big situation. I don't think it should be for every situation. Hell
No, I
no.
mean
You don't owe
I
nobody
agree
nothing.
to that, but something that I think history has shown, especially over the
Hmm.
last decade, bruh, is our people are an emotional people. They don't deal with
Yeah,
logic, and once they're emotionally
you're right.
connected to something, they don't want to hear
Yeah, you're right.
nothing.
But listen, what I will
They
say in
don't
Jay
want to hear
defense,
nothing.
In Jay defense, Pastor Jamal Bryant did come out a month ago. We reported like a month or two ago saying
And said the boycott
the
was
boycott is
over.
over. So I don't know what people are still beefing about. So I will say that in his defense. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I was trying to sit in the middle, man. You know what I mean? But fuck it. Last thing I want to bring up because I know how much time we got and I don't want to get cut off. So Floyd Mayweather is in a bunch of hot water, man. I heard he's being sued for not taking some money for the Pacquiao fight and the Tyson fight.
And I
He
believe
also
that.
being sued for writing checks for $200,000 for Watson, and the checks are bouncing. He might go to jail. He could possibly go to jail for theft. And they had a report that some business manager he was with took hundreds of millions of dollars from him. I don't know how he got to all his money, but they broke it down and said he just took a lot of money from him. So Floyd is in a kind of fucked up place that they saying now. I don't know what that means, but this is what I would go back to our first conversation though with Rick Ross and them. Like living that lifestyle, I seen this thing that had Floyd Mayweather had like 50 cars and shit like that. You can't drive all 50 of these fucking cars. And these are cars well over $300,000. And I'm not saying you can't do what you want to do with your money. They were saying how he don't wear any pair of drawers or something like that, clothes twice or some shit. I don't know how true it was, allegedly. And just because you make a lot of money, you got to keep a lot of money too. And I watch Floyd if it's because some people be fronting for social, but I know girls that he bought bags for like $50,000 bags for like something you can't keep sustaining. I don't give a
Styles,
fuck how
are
much
you
you
one of those
get.
girls?
I'll smack the shit out this nigga. Here's this nigga fuck is wrong with this nigga, man? I'm just having a good conversation and here he go with this dumb shit, bro. But anyway, some things
Yeah.
you can't sustain, man, and it's so hard. It's disheartening to see Floyd if all of this stuff is true, going through this shit because he made almost a billy, I think, bro, just boxing and doing
Yeah,
his
but
thing, bro.
guess
Like,
what, man? I'm a strong believer in sometimes when you make your bed, you just don't have to sleep in it. You got to live in it, bro. You got to live in the house that you built. And I think it's unfortunate, because I hate to see our black heroes be destroyed. I hate to see them fall, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, bruh, you build the house, you have to live in it, Unfortunately, I get it. I get it. Like, we go through a world where we're kind of told so much that we're nothing, that whenever we get success, the first thing we want to do is beat our chest and tell the world, hey, look at me, like I did it. And I get that that's a reaction from the trauma that and the PTSD that we have from our black experience living in
not
America.
having nothing. Yeah, I get it, but we got to
Yeah,
do better than
you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, like, how many times do we have to see this story before we snap out of it?
Hey,
Right? We
yo,
saw it
what I want
happen
to
to
say real quick?
Hammer. We saw it happen to Hammer. We saw it happen to many others. You know what I mean?
Yo, I want to give
And
some
it's
advice
sad,
real quick,
and
Mo,
it's
because I know
sad,
if we're going to get cut off.
yeah. And I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say, I just want to say one last thing, and it's sad, especially when it comes to Hammer, because Hammer went broke trying to help everybody around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I heard Hammer good right now. I don't know how
Yeah,
true
yeah.
this, but
No,
somebody said
listen.
good.
Listen, that's just Floyd's not broke right now compared to us. Floyd is great, but what I'm saying is compared to what he's made and what he had, he's in
Yeah.
financial troubles because of the what it costs to maintain that lifestyle. You get where I'm coming from? So when I say
Yo,
Hammer
hold up.
broke, I just mean compared to where he was, that what was it, 200-300 million that he had.
Yo, I just want to say to anybody that's out there that's making a hell of a lot of bread and you got these business managers and you making a lot of bread, I suggest y'all get 2 to 3 niggas. And 2 to 3 niggas that's checks and balances to all the niggas.
I got
Right?
lawyers watching lawyers so I don't go broke. Listen to
Yeah.
Big.
So and that's the best way to do it. Have two people that's not in cahoots with each other. Even get one family member that you trust so that keep everything in line. And somebody on the outside is still watching everything and they all gotta sign off, not just one person signing off or something. It can't just like we can't keep seeing that story. If I know if I got 100 million or fucking 10 million, I'm changing how I do my business. You know what I mean? Just because I trust you for 20 years doesn't mean that I'm not putting a person to check you and a person to check that person and another person in the middle of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta stop going through that
There's
because they say we
there
got a lot of money taken from us.
I mean, I always say there's no reason to be wealthy and you're not aware of where you're at financially. You'd be surprised how many wealthy people have people take care of their affairs and really have no idea what they have or what's coming in or what's
Yeah, it's
going
easy
out.
that way. I get it. I've been living that style. I'm not wealthy, but I've been in like I just trust the person. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm low. Okay, I gotta go out there and go get it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but we gotta do better, bro. We gotta start having people watching other people, and everybody don't gotta put somebody on payroll. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes switch them bitches out. You had a nigga for 6 years, switch somebody out. New person come in, somebody got to go. So there's always constant people watching your money. But look, man, I don't know when this shit gonna cut off. That's why I'm just trying to go through it.
Hmm.
And yo, this is another episode of Brooklyn Boys Radio. We will be
Radio,
back
radio.
where we need to be at next week in our spots. Shout out to Woodsack, shout out to Dre, shout out to Swab for setting up the
Drazy
connection. And New York, we did it, baby. We champs, baby. We champs. Knicks, we champs, baby. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we here, man. Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn. We out.
We out. Later. All right, my nigga.
Peace.